from the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains.
This is Atlantic Network Television Global News. First, the headlines. Fubara vows never to surrender to blackmail or intimidation. ADC gives Usadima 6 months ultimatum to hold LG pools. Court fines Governor Bello over human rights violation. Group appeals for environmental protection and climate change. US President Trump returns to court for fraud trial. Fireboy DML shares experience and success. Osimhen heads for Men's Player Prize CAF Awards 2023. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara says that no level of sabotage, deliberately staging some quarters, will make him abandon the mandate given to him to serve, protect and advance the fortunes of the state. Fubara, who disclosed this while declaring open the 115 and 116 combined quarterly general meeting of the Rivers State Council of Traditional Rulers in Port Harcourt, and reaffirmed his commitment to serve with humanity, sincerity of purpose and accountability, adding that drastic measures will be taken to strengthen education, healthcare, and social services across the state so that no part, including the rural areas, will be left behind. The governor said the 2024 budget of the state will prioritize and provide sufficient funding to create universal access to affordable and quality education and healthcare services in Rivers State, in advancing these human capital and development efforts, and also all traditional rulers to be upright and exhibit integrity as royal fathers who do not compromise their neutrality. Rivers State House of Assembly. About 27 lawmakers loyal to the Speaker, Martin Amehule, sat under tight security in the complex during the week to elect a former chief whip as a new majority leader of the Assembly, while the member representing Oba Ebema Ndoni Constituency 1, Franklin Nwabochi, was named the new chief whip. Personnel. The statement said that the armed hoodlums blocked an open fire on a team of narcotic officers assigned to Opuje community, or One West local government area, in the forest, and Ujioba forest in Esha West local government area. Abia State government says it has engaged that the State Ministry of Education is working hard to ensure the relocation of pupils of closed down private schools to enable them continue their studies, that there are concerned efforts by the State Ministry of Education in ensuring that the JAM CTB centers closed in the state were reopened. Kano further informed that the State Ministry of Health is partnering the State Homeland Security to provide ambulance services in the case of accident all through 2023 Yuletide season in the state, adding that one side of the Osa Road in Umah and Port Harcourt roads in Aba will be ready for Christmas season. African Democratic Congress in Imo State has placed 6 months notice on the state's governor, Hope Uzodimma, to properly fund and mandate the Imo State Independent Electoral Commission to conduct local government elections or face legal and political actions. The party also probed Uzodimma for allegedly opening and deceiving the teeming youth of Imo State with the promises of securing overseas employment for Imo State youth and sending 4,000 of them to Canada and Europe to resume work. A statement by ADC National Vice Chairman Southeast Chelos got sent and joined Uzodimma to look inward in order to harness the indigenous talents and potentials of Imo youths and express astonishment over the deliberate political underdevelopment, leadership suppression and drain orchestrated on Imo State youths by Governor Uzodimma and his predecessors. Reacting to the ultimatum, the State Commissioner for Information and Register eligible voters across the country, the State Independent Electoral Commission need for organizations to conduct off-legal council elections in their various states, presenting the document on behalf of INEC in a soft copy. The Resident Electoral Commissioner of Lagos, Professor Ayobami Salami, appreciated the long-standing working relationship, collaboration and partnership between INEC and LISEC and urged LISEC to accept and use the documents according to its own rules, regulations and procedures to ensure free, fair and credible elections for the advancement of democracy in the country. Receiving the INEC for the timely manner and the all-important document that is being handed over to the Commission, adding that it will help in the early preparation for the next local government election. Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke has assured that his administration will give maximum paid him a courtesy visit. The governor, who was represented by his deputy, Kola Adewusi, saluted the perseverance of the security operative in the state in maintaining peace and order and assured that the administration of Governor Adeleke will give maximum support to the security operatives in the state. This is coming after the new Commissioner of Police administration of his rights. Justice Ekwo equally issued an order requiring the security agencies and their heads to ensure Ajaka's safety. The judge further made an order of injunction restraining the security agencies from arresting, adopting, detaining and further harassing, intimidating, shooting or threatening the applicant's life and properties. The Nigerian Police Force, the General of Police, Kogi State Commissioner of Police, the Department of State Service and the Director General of the DSS were joined in the suit as respondents, including the Director of the DSS Command in Kogi, the Commandant General of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, as well as the Chief of Defense Staff, the Chief of Army Staff and the Chief of Naval Staff. Suspected gunman kills 12 people in several communities. Suspected gunmen have killed no fewer than 12 persons, with several others sustaining various degrees of injuries in fresh attacks on Ayin and other communities such as Ayimalo, Loza and Weji in Logo local government area of Benue State. The attackers are alleged to be Fulani herdsmen, while eyewitness said apart from invading houses, the attackers blocked Ayin, Loza and Weji roads in broad daylight, killing more people and collecting various sums of money from helpless villagers. He called on the Benue State government to provide security for the defenseless people of Ayin and its environs who are currently under severe attack. Personnel to maintain peace in the troubled communities and called on the affected people to remain calm. Governor Amadu Umaru Fintiri of Adamawa State has signed water resources and water sanitation and hygiene policy for the state. The WASH policy was designed to promote the ideal of safe drinking water, sanitation and hygiene as important for human health, particularly to cater for children, especially girls, while the principle espouses that safe wash is not only a prerequisite for health but contributes to livelihood, school attendance and dignity. The new wash policy for Adamawa State, developed by the State Ministry of Water Resources in collaboration with United States Agency for International Development, and is expected to guide the state to better health outcomes. Speaking before signing the policy in his office, Governor Hamadu Fintiri said water forms a critical part of his administration's top priorities to enhance human health and economic well-being, and ensure that his administration will adhere strictly to the provisions of the water policy. National Judicial Council has endorsed and recommended 11 successful justices for appointment to the bench of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. The council disclosed the recommendation along with 6 heads of court and 26 other judicial officers, while the new justices of the Apex Court were unveiled by the NJC and its 104 meeting on December 6, 2023 held in Abuja. The National Judicial Council has finally recommended 11 successful justices for appointment to the bench of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, including the recommendation along with 6 heads of court and 26 other judicial officers. The unveiling came barely 2 weeks after the chairman of the council and Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN Olukayode Ariwala, revealed that the Apex Court would in his own time get 21 constitutionally prescribed full complements. A statement by the NJC Director of Information, Mr. Soji Oye, listed those recommended to include Justices Jumai, Hanatsu Sankei, Chidebere Nwama Owa, Chioma Egondu Wosu Iheme, Haruna Simon Sanami, and Mo Asemu A. Ademuin, as well as several others. Lawmakers in the Third Republic under the aegis of Third Republic Parliamentarian Forum are calling on the federal government to pay the entitlements for the service they render to Nigeria. The forum, which consists of lawmakers who served in the country's parliament about 31 years ago, were on a courtesy visit to the National Assembly to converse on issues of transparent elections as a way to deepen Nigeria's democracy. Addressing members of the House of Representatives press corps, the group said the aim of the courtesy visit is to spur members of the 10th National Assembly to deepen democracy. The former lawmakers called on President Bola Tinubu, who was a senator in the Third Republic as well as the National Assembly, to look
The Third Republic House of Rep is the oldest, for now, is the oldest members of House of Rep country. We have a lot of problem ourselves that we now think that having a president who is one of us, having members of House of Rep and the multiple senators now, we think that some of these are problems in our claim and salaries that was not paid at that time.
And Kingibe, we have been honored, not be honored, and be paid our salary and outstanding. Many of us have died, as I've said, 250 from 593. Some are half dead, like me here. I'm also half dead because my engine is knocked. I'm
The forum also honored one of the lawmakers in the Third Republic who is currently serving in the Third House of Representatives on Frederick Abedi from Bayelsa State, alleged 4.8 billion naira fraud. Billionaire Cletus Ibeto in court of arraignment of sitting in Ikeja for an alleged 4.8 billion naira fraud was again stalled due to his absence in court. This is after Ibeto, alongside Ibeto Energy Development Company and Odo Holdings Limited, were to be arraigned by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on a 10-count charge bordering on allegations of obtaining by false pretenses, fraudulent conversion of property, criminal breach of trust, forgery and deception to the tune of 4.8 billion naira. He also told the court that the Office of the Lagos Attorney General received a petition from the law firm of Robert Clark San, while the prosecution counsel, Rotimi Jacob San, noted that my learned friend, who did not appreciate the intervention made by the learned, which is to the effect that they received the petition and that a decision has not been taken. Jacob further informed the court that the defense counsel was the fourth different senior advocate appearing for the defendant on each of the adjourned dates and did not say anything about the presence or absence of his client, of which was deliberate, and further told the court that following the bench warrant issued for the arrest of the defendant, the EFCC immediately swung into action and visited the premises of the defendant, and it was revealed that Olarawaju Olodeye says the mass migration of Nigerians, especially the youth known as Japa, to Europe and other Western countries for greener pastures is the result of lack of appropriate leadership in Nigeria. He stated this while delivering a lecture at the 17th convocation ceremony of the Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Okor in Anambra State, on the topic Mainstreaming Uncertainty, speaking on the development of Atlantic Television blowout. A civil society advocate, Dr. Wanuba, gave a lot the clarity of the registrar's precision and major causes of brain drain among students, and also identify several other factors.
He asked him, the question, he answered it too. You know, it was very clear. That Nigerians are seeking greener pastures, you know, and then he just said the reason. He was precise, you know, on the reason why Nigerians are doing the job. What do we have in Nigeria? We have a battered economy. We have an exchange rate that has an unprecedented level, has reached an all-time low. Now, what do you expect these youths? They go through the rigors of reading several very challenging courses in the university. They come out, no jobs, and where if they process a visa, able to, live just, they are not asking for too much to be able to just exist as human beings and then live a life that is just organized. This their country has failed on. This their own country could not offer them. So what do we have? We have leaders who have, destroyed the economy of this country. We have leaders who have battered the entire system and makes it look like the survival of the fittest. Now the political elites are fully in charge. We've seen how they've taken, even at the National Assembly.
Speaking further, he expressed dissatisfaction over the rate of corruption and displacement of education as a priority.
It's already hemorrhaging. Look at the budget. Country. If the country is conducive, if you graduate and you get a job and the exchange rate is, even if it's around 150, you can manage and you could stay. You could make a living out of what is happening in the country, and the economy will be relatively okay. But when it is not possible to even exist in that country, what do you want the people to?
Alhaji Mohammed Idris has constituted a committee to finalize Nigeria's Values Charter to be unveiled by President Bola Tinubu early next year. Deputy Director of Press, Mr. Suleiman Haruna, said Nigeria's Values Charter embodies a social contract between the country and its citizens, and as well as serve a blueprint and policy for a national value system, defining Nigerians and undergirding the personality as citizens. The minister added that the government intended to incorporate these values into formal, informal, and vocational educational policies, and it is common practice for countries to define their core values and institute policies to transmit a shared value system amongst the citizens. Group of 7 opposition. The movement tagged the coalition of concerned political parties was formed in Abuja at a meeting attended by leaders of the political parties of the National Secretariat of the Social Democratic Party. The coalition comprised the People's Democratic Party, Africans Democratic Congress, Social Democratic Party, and People's Allied Movement, as well as the New Nigeria People's Party, Young Progressive Party, and Party. PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, who disclosed this while hosting a delegation of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, expressed fears of the country falling into a one-state party and urged the opposition to see the need for unity. Works, Dayo Adeye says that Nigeria would have grounded by now if President Bola Tinubu had not removed subsidy from oil. This is coming after President Bola Tinubu, after winning the presidential primaries of the APC against all odds and the subsequent general election, fought another round of battle to liberate Nigerians from hardship and from every form of entanglement. Adeye, who is a national chairman of the Southwest Agenda, disclosed this in a just when the organization which championed the election of Tinubu flagged off palliative distribution to supporters in Plateau State, while lamenting a lot of damage that was done to the Nigerian economy by the past administrations, which made things difficult for the present administration when it assumed office. A high court in Ikeja, Lagos State orders the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to remove votes during the 2023 presidential and national assembly elections. The EFCC had arraigned Wahab Mohammed before Justice Ismail Ijelu on a 2-count charge bordering on conspiracy and bribery, and the charges, when translated for the defendants in Yoruba language, as who could not speak nor understand English language or Pidgin. The defendant pleaded guilty to the 2-count charge. APC chieftain.
APC meetings. How does he attend other APC meetings? Does he go about an interpreter? What made him an APC chieftain? How did he qualify to
Secretary of NUPENG instead. Coincidentally, it was his 80th birthday, and the news of his passing was disclosed by his personal assistant, Atawada Bari Oke, who stated that Chief Kokori had been on life support since Kokori was still able to communicate faintly on Sunday. However, his condition worsened on Monday and was placed on a life support machine, seemingly waiting for the television network. We will be right back after this break.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
It's Christmas season! Hooray! A time to make merry with loved ones, a time to give thanks, and a time to be a blessing. May your holiday season be filled with joy, laughter, and beautiful moments. From all of us in Morrison Communications Limited, Wish 99.5 FM and Atlantic Television Network, we wish you a Merry Christmas full of amazing experiences. Cheers to a beautiful year end.
Welcome back. This is Global News on Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of our stories. Underscored the need for a comprehensive review of the terms and conditions of the controversial Nigeria Air Project, which was launched on the 26th May 2023 with a view to
the members of this committee. It is again another responsibility bestowed on us to further serve our nation, particularly the Federal Capital Territory Area Councils, the people whose welfare is paramount in the discharge of our duties. To the Honorable Minister and other critical stakeholders, I ask for your support and cooperation, for without it, running this committee will be like an hobby. A machine, we are all components and must work together for the success of this committee and the betterment of the Federal Capital Territory Area Councils. Therefore, we shall pay attention to all the sectors under our mandate, particularly agriculture, cultural festivals, as it concerns the indigents and residents, chieftaincy development in the area councils, improve revenue drive, inter-house sports in schools to identify and develop talents as well. We shall take our oversight functions seriously.
of their duties.
It has been an integral part of many organizations' host community development strategies for years. We believe that every company, regardless of its size or sector, has a role to play in shaping a sustainable future. As a committee, our primary focus will be create a legislative businesses to embrace CSR as a natural extension of their core operations through interface and oversight. To achieve this, we will constantly engage all relevant stakeholders in an extensive work towards streamlining CSR reporting mechanisms, ensuring transparency and accountability in all efforts undertaken by organizations.
Where the House agrees to pay attention to all the sectors under its mandate, particularly agriculture, cultural festivals, resettlement schemes, satellite town development and responsibilities as it concerns the indigents and residents, inter-house sports in schools to identify and develop talents as well as education and health development cannot be overemphasized. In their intervention, members including Honorable Sada Soli and Chinedu Obika frowned at the failure of successive FCT administration to provide requisite infrastructure across the 6 area council. Of State for FCT in her response assured to work with the committee to ensure that residents of the federal capital get the best security and infrastructure as possible. The National Assembly, through its joint committees of the Senate and House of Representatives on Interior, took up the Ministry on issuance of the expatriate quotas, which is believed to serve as an avenue for stealing jobs from Nigerians in Nigeria by expatriates. Merit and demerits of issuance of the expatriate quotas by the Ministry of Interior to deserving.
That it is heartwarming that the ministry surpassed its revenue target on issuance of expatriate quotas, but the policy is giving room for expatriates to steal jobs from Nigerians in Nigeria.
Who spoke to the issue of expatriate quota? My own background. One of the serious problems we have in Nigeria today is the growing level of unemployed youth.
The minister assured the committee members that the ministry had already come up with projects for job protection for Nigerians. The project, according to him, is expatriate employee network. Primarily aimed to safeguard jobs meant for Nigerians. from being stolen by expatriates and also
Up next is business news. One of the collaborators of the Dawn Project, Desmond Majed Kodumi, says Nigeria's 1,411 delegates at the ongoing 28th United Nations Climate Change Conference should justify their reason for going there when they return. He disclosed this at the 2023 competition award and prize giving ceremony organized by the Dawn Project on Victoria Island, Lagos, and lamented that people were destroying nature, adding that due to the development, 2023 is recorded as the hottest. Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos, Professor Folashade Ogunsola, has also advised Nigerians to support the Dawn Project awareness and preserve the environment for the future generations to come. Presidential Compressed National Gas Initiative says it is planning to spend
mountains through the Sahara. We bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
It's Christmas season! Hooray! A time to make merry with loved ones, a time to give thanks, and a time to be a blessing. May your holiday season be filled with joy, laughter, and beautiful moments. From all of us in Morrison Communications Limited, Wish 99.5 FM and Atlantic Television Network, we wish you a Merry Christmas full of amazing experiences.
Presidential Compressed National Gas Initiative says it is planning to spend 100 billion naira to facilitate the deployment of CNG buses across the nation. A statement said the initiative is part of the fund that will be used to fund the adoption of auto gas and electric vehicles, paving way for a new sustainable and economical future in mass transit and transportation. The statement also said governments will be delighted to reassure Nigerians that the program is in course to deliver on these objectives, going by the milestones achieved by the PCNGI in the last few weeks, which they said include strategic technical partnership, Kaduna, Ogun, and Rivers, with others to follow in the next few weeks. General of the World Trade Organization, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, has doubled the list in Forbes' 100 Most Powerful Women list. According to Forbes' 20th annual ranking release, the Nigerian economist held the 87th spot, while South African businesswoman Mpumi Madisa ranked 88th, commenting on the development. Okonjo-Iweala wrote on X via her official handle, "Feel truly honored to be named one more time as one of the Forbes in the world." According to her, this will be the 7th time starting in 2011, and send congratulations to all the women on the list working hard to make a difference, and to others working hard to change the world even if they are not on the list. Okonjo-Iweala is the 7th Director General of the World Trade Union. She took office on the 1st of March 2021, becoming the first woman and first African to serve as Director General. Her term of office will expire. International tidbits. Jabalia refugee camp in northern Gaza has seen fighting as Israeli tanks around the area, while the Hamas-run local authority said about 100 people are still in the north since the humanitarian truce ended at the start of December. The UN chief Antonio Guterres warned that the humanitarian system in Gaza may collapse and public order could be completely broken down. His comments have been criticized by Israel Foreign Minister Eli Cohen, who called Guterres' tenure a danger to the world peace. And this is coming after Hamas attacked Israel in October, killing 1,200 people and taking 240 hostages, some of whom were released during the short-lived truce. While Hamas officials in Gaza say Israel has killed more than 16,200 people in its retaliatory campaign, including about 7,000 children. United Nations Chief Antonio Guterres says war in Gaza is causing catastrophe and warned that Security Council member states should seek for humanitarian system in Gaza before it collapses. UN Chief invokes a United Nations article not to be used in decades to call on members to avert a humanitarian catastrophe, to restore public order to complete breakdown because it's continuing Israel bombardments and lack of essential supplies. His comments have been criticized by Israel Foreign Minister Eli Cohen, who called Guterres' tenure a danger to the world peace, while Israel agrees to allow a minimal amount of additional fuel into Gaza to prevent humanitarian collapse and the outbreak of epidemics, and look towards the legislation to provide new security assistance for Israel that has been blocked by Republican members of the U.S. Senate. This is coming after Hamas attacked Israel in October, killing 1,200 people and taking 2,040 hostages, some of whom were released during a short-lived truce, while Hamas officials in Gaza say Israel has killed more than 16,200 people in its retaliatory campaign, including about 7,000 children. Senate Republicans have blocked a move to pass an aid bill for Ukraine after failing to secure border compromises that sought in exchange the $110 billion package, including $61 billion for Ukraine, as well as funds for Israel and aid for Gaza. The White House has warned that U.S. funds for Ukraine could soon run out, and that failure to secure more U.S. aid would mean a very high possibility that the war will be lost to Russia. While Republican members are generally in favor of aid to Ukraine, some have sought to use the issue as a way to address mounting domestic concerns over the U.S. southern border. Senators shouted at each other over border security, and at least a dozen Republicans walked out, while Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky also called a virtual briefing with lawmakers over a last-minute matter. Ex-United States President Donald Trump has returned to court for his New York civil trial on fraud allegations. Trump, the front-runner for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination, and his two eldest sons are accused of inflating the value of the real estate assets to receive more favorable bank loans and insurance stamps, once again condemned the process as unfair. This is coming after Donald Trump spoke on social media ahead of the hearing, saying his case was decided against him before it even started, adding that during the trial, Trump called the judge in the case, Arthur Engoron, crazy and unhinged, and denounced the New York State Attorney General, Letitia James, who is black, as corrupt and racist. Trump, who testified on November 6 and is expected to again take the witness stand on December 11, was in court as a spectator and wore a dark blue suit and decried the process as a witch hunt. And National Council for Cultures marks its National Festival of Arts and
why, in the course of my paper, I will make some few things known. And I hope by now, most of you who are asking questions are now understanding the strategy we want to use to communicate the importance of this sector. Finally, there's this stupid English I hear these days. They said it's separating culture and tourism. And there's creative, whatever. Look, listen. I will tell you in very small words, finally, on this subject. Culture, it's not the time. In fact, some governors think
on tourism. Even Saudi Arabia depends on tourism.